At the moment, I'm working on different aspects to duty and field itself. Right now, I want to get my mother a profile of duty. I like this period of work, so I'm documenting it. The path to my very person is good to the others. So it is a worldwide investigation, next Germany, next British ranking, maybe else ranking, then mother, and then special force. Myself is storming forces, but the specialty would be to teach. So all the time when you see me and talk to me, since I was born, I was a teacher at Special Force, and investigation and so on. There's a little list. I called it private ranking because you can more field into topics. My grandfather was done with duty, somehow finished. I don't know if he's got some foreign ranking or not. Maybe it was not interesting for me. And my mother has to have a contract into past. Somehow it is normal, but not if the person is so close to a still higher ranking. Maybe she's higher than the lowest condition on my person, to be 5 stars. So I guess that's what I'm looking for. Of course, she is somehow into scientific stuff. I know she is good in managing things, so maybe she is somehow a teacher of teaching, maybe, but I don't know that exactly, so it's a bit guessing. Remembering what she did in past, reflecting on military perspectives. So far as I can tell you, she was in foreign country on duty, maybe not on purpose, but at least on the way back home. That's something I was criticizing for several years. It is via camping, automobiling, or shipping western and northern coast of Scandinavian lands. um, she was trouble to get back home for the last journey I know of exactly. So it was when her mother was dying at hospital, and she was called to get to the hospital, and it seems to be very urgent. Well, to a German social interest, it is not necessary to be at the side of a dying person or next to it. But further, the hospital told her that her father, this grandfather, was somehow in a neurological constitution, not depressed, so it was not very emotional, but it was somehow confusing, they told her. And so she wanted to get back, and we were talking to each other, and the telephone working was not that good, but she's also into communication techniques, so maybe it was on her to reach my very person. And I was angry towards, for example, Norway, and I told her just to come back to Denmark because if Denmark would have considered that Germany is not allowed to have any, at least military actions on the land, it would be the first time over a few centuries, maybe longer. So she was brought back home, but it was not that urgent. So to my point of view, it was maybe emergency overboard. She's able to cook and bake and under stress, so to say. Therefore, you may have to buy things, so you have to carry it or move a car, and to have money and to buy things, whereas I would say to have money is another star because she's female, so it would, I guess, not be the female condition, but to work on field. I've got the star in work law, work in law. So I would say for most of the time she has no female condition, but I don't know where it would start. Maybe in female condition it's not only one star to me, but still I divide it into operation and sexual somehow so misunderstood work. I called it false work because prostitution is not to a military person not under contract. She was to DDR bounded over social contact. So I would just define it as a star, but I don't know exactly what field it is. In science, I would say she's into communication, at least communication techniques. Communication as a social skill, she would be something management, teaching teachers or something like that. She is something in zoology, animals, because we had different animals as pets, fishes, for example. A teaching teacher would be something into arts, so maybe it's not in addition. Science, she would be allowed to teach German. Maybe that's a second star in teaching teacher, because she would be able to teach foreign person and the person is a teacher. So science, I wanted to schedule her that in less than 2 years she constructs a submarine. So I looked at her abilities. In physics, it is communication. So it's something about matter as its subject. It goes further on in biology to take examples. I can read it. Examples? Okay. That she she can take examples, but I don't mean animals, also plants. Samples of plants, and maybe animal examples, for example, little Muschel. I can read a dictionary Oxford. The submarine is also about personal, so how many people are able to work at this working place. She would be confident to tell you about it. And normally I would write it down on a paper, but I have not so many sheets, and some sheets are only to note something, so it's very I wouldn't be agreeing to the result. Well, I don't only miss tampons. Maybe it's a step of discrimination into military because I'm not able to be special force. It's difficult because teaching is a special force, an all-rounder, so how to sign up a person's value. So I maybe oversleep again and listen to my thoughts, because she's more about what you call ranking. In her field she got several stars. So if she would be a special force, maybe it is to communication, but I don't know exactly. Because every subject or topic is able to be connected to communication itself very easily. So I've got to write. I'm higher than my mother. On the one hand, on the highest position, I'm higher, and in amount of foreign ranking, I'm higher because it is more. So I have her write 2, and this right is referring communication, obviously. So I take it as a satellite, as printing, as mobile phoning, as chatting via internet. So maybe it is via satellite in the end, but worldwide then, because internet still is worldwide. So paper itself with different pencils and pens, different color, different width, so on. Printing also black and white, gray, Khaled, I prefer to tell you. It is normal to to stick on my protocol. I just tell you because I'm checking. I don't know how you have to deliver, but to her it is she's got it, and to me it is earlier, because she is my troop. um, yeah. Okay. 20-minute talking. So I've got sheets, I've got printing, I've got internet, telephone, texting. Okay. So satellite, internet. Communication is also to inform myself. So I want the real internet. It's not good you didn't treat her like my troop, because I'm Vorhut in internet. So communication is also reading something, even to talk about something. Maybe that's why I'm referring and stick on university, because it is also a place to share. So in my lifetime schedule is except for the other contract, to work in law. So I have to shorten it and to translate it into English. It is to go to university, and it is about a very popular subject, economy. So if something maybe was in forbiddenness, for example, to answer me or something like this, it's broken now. So I need stuff, many things about the household, food, drinks, drinking. I would prefer uniforms. Well, it's talking too. I need normal hygienic articles. Tampons, shampoo, deo stick, toilet paper, I need tea again. And milk and sugar. Well, it's normal stuff, but it's also communication, because it's talking back. So maybe there's an answer by the people. I don't know what they experienced in the last years. Very bounded by duty. Okay, so I've got to write referring any communication. The communication I was able to was via higher ground, so it's not normal. Don't make this mistake again. You're not allowed just to settle here. And not every person is gay. That means to practice that not every person is very sharing her condition with you. Okay, so I'm collecting to my mother as a special force communication.